guys, welcome back to Art with Anna. Today, I'm sad that I can't be with you, but we're gonna work on something really fun. So last week we learned a little bit about artist Yayoi Kusama and some of her dot paintings, as well as some of her infinity rooms, and we looked briefly at her pumpkins. But she is pretty famous for her pumpkins, and since it's Halloween time, I thought we could recreate some of those together. So her pumpkins can be paintings. Every once in a while she would do paintings of them, but she's most famous for her sculptures. So three-dimensional objects, these big pumpkins that are spotted with black dots. So we're gonna make something similar today. There are some reasons why she likes pumpkins. One source said that she grew up near a squash farm, and so pumpkins were just around her all the time. She also says that she loves their shape. She loves that they almost look kind of human. She thinks that they're kind of humble and just simple shapes. So for those reasons, she loves pumpkins. For the reason I love Halloween, I love pumpkins. So we're gonna get started making some pumpkins. Let's look at the supplies we'll need and we'll get started. You will need yellow or orange construction paper, a pipe cleaner, a paper cutter, a hole punch, some black paint, a crayon, black marker, a colored pencil, and a Q-tip. Okay, so we can choose whether or not we want to make a yellow pumpkin or an orange pumpkin. Typically pumpkins are orange when we think about them. However, Yayoi Kusama's pumpkins are kind of this like yellow-orange mix. You could also mix and match. But we are going to need to cut out 6 strips out of one or both of these colored papers. I'll choose yellow for today. So I'll take a yellow sheet of paper, and we're gonna wanna make 6 strips. So I'm gonna fold it in half, and I'm gonna know that I'm gonna have to make kind of 3 even-ish strips out of each side. So if you'd like to, with your colored pencil, kind of map out the size of your strips. One, two, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so I have 6. I have a little bit of extra space on the side, so we just won't use that. I guess if you wanted to, you could try to make 2 strips out of this and add. It doesn't matter. But we have these 6 kind of strips mapped out, so we're gonna take our paper cutter and line up our paper with our markings and cut. And again, we're gonna want 6 of these, so we'll just keep repeating. So I have 6 strips of paper. The next step we're gonna have to do is to, on each strip, which you can probably do more than 1 at a time, I'll do 2 at a time, we're gonna wanna punch a hole in the middle and then 1 on each side. So since we have a 3 hole punch here, I'm gonna line it up so that my hole is pretty much to the end of one side, and then we'll just cut off the excess on this side here. So we've got the 3 holes that we need, and then there's a little too much on this side, and I didn't tell you guys to get scissors, so I'm probably gonna have to edit that back in. And I don't have any with me because I didn't think about it, so I'm gonna rip off the edge. So this is what it looks like, and we're gonna do that with all of our strips. Now these strips are going to be the sections of our pumpkins. Our pumpkins are going to be pretty small. They're going to kind of come together like this. They'll be about this size. They can fit in our hand. But each strip will be kind of a different section of the pumpkin because pumpkins kind of have different grooves to them. So they're going to kind of become like this, and then we'll have the other ones on either side here. So we're going to want to take each strip and put black dots down the strip. We'll just take one at a time. There's a few ways that you can put black dots on your strip of paper. One being with a marker. So something kind of unique about yayoi kusama's pumpkins are that she did kind of big circles in the middle. So we can just color in some black circles here. And we'll want to do it on the other side as well. And she often also had smaller ones on the outside. All right, so that's one of my strips. We're gonna do this with all the strips, but there's a few different ways you can make black dots. So obviously, you can do it with marker. You can also, very obviously, do it with crayon. You can do it this way. Another way you can do it is you can take the back of the crayon if it's flat and kind of go around with it. I don't even think you can see me doing that. All right, the back of the crayon. You can kind of spin it a little bit and spin it around, and it'll leave a little bit of a circle. It's not the best. I would just use the tip if you can. So this is another technique, is just simply use crayon. A third technique to get two different sizes is if you want to use paint. Now this will be a little tricky when you're assembling your pumpkin because it's going to be a little bit wet. But if we try not to use too much paint, we might be okay. Let's try it out together. You guys are my guinea pigs. All right, I'm going to put some paint here. And for some bigger dots, we can use the back of a colored pencil. I'm gonna just dab it. All right, we can go down the center. Load it up with a little more paint. And we've got dots like that. We want to make smaller dots. You can do the same thing with your Q-tip. Dip it in some black paint. Get some smaller dots up the outside. I think this is the most effective if you need some help with your fine motor skills and making a circle shape. But it is the messiest because it is wet. Something you can try to do is take leftover paper, kind of blot it out so it dries a little quicker. You might even want to try putting another strip on top and transferring the dots from one to the other, and also it will help them dry a little bit quicker. All right, not so bad. So there's all of our tricks as to how to get dots onto our strips. So I'll make sure we get dots on all 6. right, so we've got all of our strips. Now the next part is to take our pipe cleaner. So it's gonna kind of be like the stem of our pumpkin. And we're gonna just like make kind of a thicker L at the bottom. We just want it to be a stopper so that when we put these strips on, we're gonna wanna put them upside down. So the dots are down. It stops the paper from just flying off. String these guys on here. Again, we're getting a little messy with our paint ones. All right, so I kind of have this flower shape of pumpkin strips. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna take each end and put it in like this. All right. And we're left with something like this. The next thing we can do is make a little stem by folding our pipe cleaner over and twisting it. And as I'm sure you know, pumpkins grow on a vine. So we can take this little guy here, wrap him around our crayon. And there we got it. We have our little sculpture, three-dimensional, just like Yayoi Kusama's pumpkin. I'm gonna squish him down a little bit. Give him a little more shape. All right. There we go. Now, when we make a lot of these, and everyone makes one, all together they'll look a lot like her infinity room, which is her room's made of mirrors. She was really fascinated by infinity and the idea of things going on forever. Dots and patterns gave her a lot of like calm and focus. So when we have a bunch of these guys all together and there's all the dots and patterns, if you were to put them in a room with mirrors, right, they would look like they went on forever and forever. So as we make all these 30-some Yayoi Kusama pumpkins, we'll kind of have our own infinity room of pumpkins as well. So I hope you guys had fun. Kind of a simple project today, but a very influential artist and something very on theme for Halloween. So happy making, and I'll see you guys later.